Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's at school today, and this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back. And happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so we know what that means. The coffee today is dark roast, something or other, some Splenda, and some Coffee Mate powdered hazelnut creamer. It's not bad. I was out yesterday and I was drinking black coffee. The treat of putting stuff in the coffee is that when I was at the beginning of my weight loss journey, a little more hardcore, only black coffee during the week. Now I bend a little, but black coffee during the week, and I would put stuff in my coffee on the weekends. And the unfinished basement is that I would wear, let's say, gym shorts or sweatpants, and nothing else on the bottom. So there's your family-friendly explanation. So I hope everyone is well, everyone is safe, look after yourselves. Interesting times in which we live, to say the least. Look after yourself. That's the PSA for today, okay? Don't be too hard on yourself either. So we are going to try to pick up where we left off with our fair lady, Chantal Marie. It'll be Foodie Beauty again. Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, The Chantal Show, Pete's and Chantal, Beeswa, something, and then, of course, it's Chantal Marie now. It'll be Foodie Beauty again soon. So, comments on this week going forward, holy shit. There was like 16 hours of lives, and as I started to record this, she's live right now, having lunch, and she says she'll be back. Okay, so we'll address lives briefly. Last week we were dealing with diabetes. Does she have it, does she not? It looks like from what she's eating, if she does have it, she doesn't care, or she doesn't have it at all. We were dealing with some reaction channels. We were live here, so we were just gossiping. And thank you to everyone who came to the live. I was super nervous because there was like 250 maybe people here. And I had never handled a room that big by myself. So thank you for being kind, and I think we had a good time. Yaba, and DC Media Girl, she had hard-ons for both of them because she felt she was being treated unfairly. And so she fired back as only Chantal could, below the belt. So that was last week. Now this week we are, well, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to focus on two of the lives, specifically. I'll talk briefly about the other ones, but meet me halfway here. 16 hours of live is a lot. There is not one recorded video that I found this week, and a lot of these lives were 3 and 4 hours long. So, we can rely on stuff she put on her community post, and then a couple things in the middle of these. What I want to focus on is her food issues, which, not news, and some things that she let go with the mouth when she was talking about, you know, she was having pizza in her car in the middle of nowhere, things she talked about how it didn't help, her feelings, she wasn't eating because she was hungry, she talks about her weight loss, stuff like that. And she seems to change directions about 3 times in about a 48-hour period. So let's just dive in. Now, first thing before I even started watching today, because I was watching during the week and taking notes, but, I mean, I don't even think her fans sit in... I don't even think Karate Joe would sit in there for 4 hours. Even he would have to use the bathroom. So, she was filming live right as I'm doing this. We'll put it at the end. The first one since we last checked in was Saturday Night Live Burgers and Fries. She says her life is boring due to COVID. She uses this as an explanation for not filming content. I'm bound to agree with her that 3 hours of her eating a burger is boring. So, we're just going to go to the next live. There was nothing interesting to say. I'm not going to focus in this one about cats on the counter, because they were there. Or Pete's being a wingman. Right, Pete's? Right, Pete's? Co-sign this, Pete's. Right, Pete's? Because that happened a bunch, too. Or the other kind of minutia that comes with Chantal, because she's got, you know, fibs here and there and whatnot. But that's all for granted, grain of salt with Chantal. We're not, you know, we know that. After that Saturday Night Live Burgers and Fries was Who's Up Beezin'? She laid in bed for 3 hours with her phone about yay far from her face and talked. I start to wonder, channels are interactive. Okay, channels are interactive on the thought of these lives. I didn't know that when I started doing YouTube as to say I'm a creator feels grand. I make videos. I had no idea that it was interactive in this way. I thought it was like one-way communication. Like, I would make videos and you would comment. I never thought that you'd form relationships with people, be friends with people. It would be so interactive. So is she laying in bed for 3 hours because she wants to make content and interact with her subs, or is it making her feel better? Is it for selfish reasons? Would it matter if it was? If it's just to make her feel better, and fans like to have access to her, she's a larger channel. There's a larger number of people who want to be, huddling around her flame. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter if it's only to her benefit, because some of them, they just like hanging out with her. I don't know. I mean, I will leave my opinion out of that one. So after that, 3, Cracker Barrel Meatloaf Copycat Cooking Live. So the dress is cute. She's in black. She's been looking better, I think, this week. Not 100%, but I don't think I would call hair and makeup hygiene. Exactly. But usually when she feels good, she looks good. And a couple of times this week she had on some foundation and that FU red lipstick, and her hair, such that she can do anything with it, was done. I know she didn't like the length either, so I don't mind saying I don't. And I like cooking videos, but maybe live cooking videos just aren't my thing. I don't know, I wasn't really feeling this. So, 4, Pizza Bees. We're going to go back over the community posts and try to fill them into this timeline, too. Actually, let's do the first one now, before we get into the Pizza Bees. Because we were being set up here for a life-changing, life-beckoning something or another. So, let's see. And she didn't delete anything this week. Didn't delete the lives, didn't delete the community posts. So, I will give her a +5 for integrity. For saying something and meaning it and leaving it out there, and just letting it sit, whether it's contradictory or hypocritical or doesn't match what she said Monday or Tuesday. At least she's leaving her bullshit visible and not deleting it so she doesn't have to defend it, like stuff like that. Hey guys, this was 5 days ago. I know I've been doing more live streams than usual, and some of you prefer recorded videos. Well, it's YouTube. If you were always a live channel, it'd be different. I wouldn't expect anything else. I want to assure you that tomorrow I will be doing a time warp video. It is now Saturday afternoon. This was 5 days ago. There is not a time warp video anywhere. Tonight I will most likely be doing a live cooking. That's where we get to. Not sure what time, but probably later this evening. I love interacting with you guys, XO. Okay, so that's fine. Whatever. So, going into talking about her health and life beckoning and life being too short and stuff, she was starting to take some of her weight loss videos out of private and put them public. 3 days ago, some of you were asking me to put my playlist, some of my older health and weight loss journey videos up, so I'm going to work on that here and there. Here's the playlist from when I did my 5-day water fast. She used to be loving some smoothie fasts, water fast. There was that grape lemon thing. There was that psychic medium who channeled diet tips or something. She's a sucker. I should have tried to sell her some Amway. I could have, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so then we have okay. So, let me just read what she has, because there was a long post that said she was going to be making some changes, and then we'll look at the rest of this in light of that. Okay. It's time. ... So, settle in, because this is it. Hey guys! I will be making some drastic, capitals, drastic, changes to my life in order to greatly improve the quality and longevity of my life. I have changed my name, hopefully for the final time. It's okay. Foodie Beauty is your brand. You can call yourself, whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you change it. To Chantal Marie, because I have really asked myself, what is it I really want for myself, and the truthful answer is not food related. Of all the steps to take on a health journey, changing the name of the channel is symbolic, but it's not an actual change. Don't think it's healthy for me to keep making the kind of food-related content I've been making, causing me to sit in my kitchen and obsess over food. We've been seeing it for a while. Glad you're on board. I really, really, truly, badly, deeply... That was a Savage Garden song? Want to break free and find myself and the wonderful life I know awaits me on the other side of some tough, tough times and challenges ahead. This is all very inspiring. She's an okay writer, but I know you have been through quite the roller coaster with me on this channel. Give me a Chantal. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not trying to be patronizing. I have been on the roller coaster with all of this, and I consider you neither an enemy nor a bestie. It's just another person struggling, trying to get their shit together. And I've been the guy struggling, trying to get his shit together. So I can sympathize with you. I can empathize with you on this. Doesn't mean I like everything you do or every word you say, but this is YouTube. That's what it is. Let's see. Been through the roller coaster. What's different this time? What is different this time? The fact that I don't have much time left if I don't change. I feel sick. I need to change. I want to love my body. It's time. I haven't truly loved myself since I was this small. And there's a picture of her as a child, a very young child. Okay, so keep this in mind. Keep that noodling around. So, where did we go? So Cracker Barrel Meatloaf rolls into a Pizza Bees. Bees, and it's live. Okay. So she drives at night to her hometown, which is not particularly close to Ottawa, or the Burbs, or wherever around there she lives. She said she woke up depressed. 7 p.m. she woke up. Circadian rhythms are a thing. They're a real thing, and having them be off is a problem, and it can be treated with lifestyle changes. It can be treated medically. There's ways to go about it. If a person is interested in changing it, if they're just going to roll with the punches and call themselves a night person, that's fine too. As long as it works for you, I think. You know, Dr. Steve, grain of salt. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Don't. So she gets this pizza. She woke up depressed at 7 p.m., went to go get pizza, found a dark place to park, and go eat it, and streamed while she was there. She said, why is she going to eat this pizza? To forget my problems for 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, now I used to drink, not news, I mention it usually every week, and yes, a person's fix will kill their feelings for about 10 minutes. For example, let's just say I put this Moonshine into my coffee. Okay. Now, because I remember doing this before, saying, like, it was so ridiculous. Because I don't have a problem with food, I can overeat every day. Because I don't have a problem with alcohol, I can have a drink every day. Still tastes good, actually. That's not Moonshine. We don't keep booze in the house. There's some vanilla extract and I think a bottle of cooking wine. Back in the day, I drank a bottle of cooking wine and decorated my bedroom with it. So. Alright. So, yeah, it's not going to fix anything. The fix will only fix for a little bit of time, and then afterwards, especially with a binge, because I've done the binge make me feel better. Booze gave me the I feel numb feeling better than food gave me the I feel numb feeling. That's why I would vacillate back and forth between substance abuse and eating disorder stuff, because if I ran out of my fix, I could always binge. And then if the binge made me feel guilty, I could always purge. And then I could binge again, or I can go to bed. Usually after a good binge purge, I would go to bed. So she was going to film, by the time she got out of bed it was 7. She was then talking about moving, thinking about moving. Country or condo in Toronto. She likes the country, getting a bunch of animals. They went to that farm barn thing once, which was kind of cute. She did seem to like the animals, I guess. She was going to volunteer there, but that fell through. So, who's going to get custody of Pete's? If she moves, Pete's is kind of a lost soul. Of course, I think he could live independently. I mean, he's not a child, he is a man. Unless there's extenuating circumstances, it's to be expected that he could live independently. So, she can move and do whatever she wants, and she makes a comfortable living. Now, Toronto, I believe, is one of, if not Canada's biggest cities. I don't know if big cities in Canada mean like big cities US, like New York prices, where you can rent a closet for $2,000 a month. It's, I don't know if she makes that kind of money, but that's between her and her banker and her feeders. So, let's see. Extra beezing. She was extra beezing and had a craving for cigarettes. Well, let's not judge. See, I only intuitive smoke, too, kind of the intuitive eating. It's fortunate, though, because every time I want a cigarette, there just happens to be one nearby, and I have one only when I want one. So my intuition's right on point. Now, she says since starting this medication, she's had some issues. Oh, by the way, she threw out the cigarettes. They're $20 a pack in Canada. I know in other countries they're a lot more, too. Mine are $5 American to get them here. She bought a pack, had one, got ill, she threw them out, allegedly. since starting this new medication, the Ozempic, which is prescribed for individuals with type 2 diabetes. I think one of the side effects, or maybe it's used off-label, is for weight loss, perhaps. So she is taking that. She's complaining of side effects, headaches, and bowel issues. The woman is a walking, breathing bowel issue. It's just her lot in life, I suppose. She's talking in the live, and this was something that jumped up to me. She said people were complaining that comments were being deleted. And Chantal said, which I believed, but I think she's probably more in the loop on, that Google is present in chats, and certain words will disappear. Not from the mods, not from, us doing it, because we don't mod. We have mods when we do our lives, and they're cool. We don't have a lot, but we have enough for a channel our size, and for the lives we have. Fupa could not be typed into the live. It kept disappearing a couple weeks ago. F-U-P-A. Gone. It wouldn't show up. There's things that have showed up in the comments section that then disappeared too, and I went hunting and couldn't find. So I was kind of relieved to hear Chantal say that happened in her content too, because when I saw it with mine, I thought, people are going to think I'm lying and that I'm deleting stuff. I've used that word fupa a few times. I've said it, and then theirs were disappearing. It's not censorship, at least not on my part or hers, I guess. Well, I can't vouch for her. I don't know what her mods do. But I pretty much let everything except bigotry, name-calling, fights between people in the chat, maybe, get timed out or something like that. You can call me whatever you want. I'm grown. It's okay. And, don't make any threats. Or if you're, just the basics of a chat. If you talk about something off topic, you're not going to be thrown out. That's, you know what I mean? So, let's see. It's good for her mental health to have this pizza. She says this first. And then she says, well, not really. The problem is, after the 10 minutes of relief from the pizza, it's like 10 minutes from drinking. I'd usually get myself laced up for like at least an afternoon to have a good time. Afterwards, I would be hungover, disappoint everyone, and the problem would still be there. With binging on a pizza, it's not too different. You eat the pizza, you're on total autopilot. It shuts off the part of my head when I'm eating that makes me worried about anything. It's a nice little bury my head in the sand distraction. To be like, not thinking about this, I'm chewing, I'm swallowing, it's good. Then I'm not hungry anymore and I'm eating to eat. And then kind of the shine is off of it. And it's not fun anymore. So now I'm bloated, guilty, feel a little sick about myself, feel a little sick physically, have to find a place to use the bathroom, we'll touch on that in a minute, and still have the same problems I had 20 minutes ago before I started eating. So it doesn't fix anything. It just feels like it fixes things. Which is, and I'm the first one to say that I fell for that every single time. I can understand when people say about Chantal, don't you know you have a lot of health problems that are bringing you close to death? Like, don't you understand that you have clots, that you can't breathe, that you could stop breathing in your sleep without the help of a machine, mobility, all that kind of stuff. And it's not enough to scare her. You can't scare an addict. Like, it doesn't work like that. You couldn't scare me. I'll say that, not you. I'll say I. You couldn't scare me. I would walk out of a detox right into a liquor store, and you think, how could you do that all over again? You were crying and screaming for help 3 days ago. Because I would break down and go, my life's a mess, I don't know what I'm doing. I would do it when I was drunk. Drag me to the ER and have me sit there for the 6 hours you have to sit in the ER. 6 hours later, I didn't want to get admitted. I didn't want help. I wanted a drink. I'd fake sane, make up a bunch of lies, leave the ER, go to the liquor store, and we'd start all over again. And I was sincere when I said I wanted help when I was drunk, but I was also sincere when I said I wanted to leave the hospital and get a drink. So, just say it. It's not good for your mental health to indulge in your fixes. Let's just say right now, I'm a little miffed that there's 16 hours of videos, and I don't feel like I have the capacity to review all 16 in fine detail. So I have a little Moonshine. See? Now I don't give a fuck who's mad about it. Now when that wears off, and I'm editing the video, I might feel a little guilty, like I underserved or underdid the review, because it would have to be like an hour and a half long to cover all that stuff. But I might feel some sort of way about it. So if I then do and have more moonshine, I won't care again. But then, when I come down from that, I will feel sad for getting drunk twice, hungover, and then I'll have more guilt about the addiction behaviors. So then you're just eating, then I was just eating to eat or drinking to drink. You know, after a while, for me, it stopped being about any one thing. There was no point of going to therapy to find the root of the issue, because I didn't have time to find the root of the issue. I was going into seizures and withdrawals because I was so sick. And you still couldn't stop me from drinking at that point. It got to the point where I was so dependent on alcohol that if I stopped drinking, I was having seizures. So, I mean, she's going to find her own, and even that wasn't a bottom. It wasn't. I still went on after that for another year or so. I understand how it's hard to watch her fuck her life up and be like, you know you're fucking your life up, right? And she's like, yeah, I don't care, I'm going for pizza. And how maddening that looks. Because to me, even with some empathy, it looks like, are you fucking stupid? But I try to remember for myself to have a sense of compassion, not much, but a sense of it, that if she knew any better, she'd be doing better. She'd be doing better. The attitude that I had as an addict was not, you know, I'm going to take care of myself and nurture myself. It's, how much can I get away with without dying? You know, how much can I drink without dying? How much alcohol can I sneak through the house without getting caught? How much can I drink at this bar before they'll flag me? It's always testing the limits with my drug of choice. That's how I would always go. And when I see Chantal, I see a lot of me, and believe me, that doesn't sit well with me. Not because I think Chantal is a horrible person, but because she is so ill, from my perspective. She's only doing one treatment thing right now, possibly more, and I hope she gets well. But, I mean, even, like I said, even me having some empathy and sharing some similar experiences, I look at what she's doing and I go, knock it off. I'm like, you're gonna have nobody on your side when you need some help getting better. I mean, I don't think, you can't stay as sick as she is for very long. She'll either get better or not. Alright. So, she said she's been avoiding responsibility. This is all with the pizza. I know I need to eat better. No comment. She's brainstorming some series ideas. Now, she hasn't put out a video in a while, and now we're going to start a series. A vlog series about getting ready to travel. So we were going to go to Dominican Republic, and that didn't happen because of COVID. And we were going to go see her aunt in Jamaica, and that didn't happen either. At least not yet. Start small. You know, start small. It's going to have to start small. Because when we're talking about getting out of the house, she needs a walker to ambulate. Okay. So, if she's in this state, even if she loses weight and she has trouble walking or trouble breathing, she's still going to need to be able to sit while she goes. She could lose 100 pounds and still need a walker. And that's whatever. If she needs it, she needs it. Losing 100 pounds would still be great. But she's going to need, like, a Jazzy through the airport, probably a first-class ticket or to buy a couple seats. And big people travel. They do it. They manage. She has financial resources where she can find accommodations, even if they're more expensive. And they shouldn't be with, like, you know, disability stuff. But if she has to, she can. But, I mean, let's try getting up and down the stairs first. Something small. I'm not being patronizing. I mean, literally, start with something small, check it off the list, and then maybe move up to something bigger. You know, the most I could do when I was first trying to get sober was I got a library card. I know it sounds stupid. My wallet was empty when I first got sober because I couldn't drive because I had lost my license. I had no cash. All my credit cards had been maxed out and shut off and cut into pieces. I had no bank account because I had overdrawn it and it was shut down. So there was nothing in my wallet at all. Absolutely nothing. And the first thing I did to feel like a human being was go to the library and get a library card, because it was something with my name on it that said that I was alive. Because for all the prior years, I kind of felt dead. And it was just one little thing. Just one little thing. And then I got a good suggestion from a friend. I used to do the 12-step thing, and she had said, first thing you need to do to stay sober every day, make your bed. And I know she heard it from somebody else, but it absolutely works. I still make my bed every day. It's, you know, a great way to start. It was a great way for me to start, because I never made my bed as a kid. My life is a mess. It was. So after she pitches this getting ready to travel thing, she goes into the after binge defense. This comes up a lot, either how the food wasn't that greasy, or it was all vegetarian, or I didn't eat the whole thing. There's always the try to diminish afterwards. She said, you shouldn't feel guilty about your choices if you have a problem. Don't judge me for my moonshine. Or my cigarettes. Because I have a disease. Okay? Addiction is something that wraps itself around you. However, to Miss Hussey, should you feel guilty? No. But, should you feel great about it? No. I don't think so. And I didn't even eat that much. Quote, she had like 3 pieces. That's about what I would have if that was all I was eating all day. I do OMAD, though. And then the next video is I'm okay. So that live ended abruptly, and then another one started where she was just driving home. And she's not looking at the chat, she just says, I'm okay. Because she left it off with telling people she was kind of depressed, and eating to feel better, and avoiding responsibilities, and just not having a good moment, and then, the feed cut off. So she comes back. She can't look at the chat because she's driving. She didn't want to worry everybody. That's considerate, because believe it or not, there's people that like Chantal just the way she is, and that's perfectly fine. She's some people's cup of tea. She should have friends if there's people that like her. She didn't want to worry anybody. She went to the bathroom in the woods again. Like a bear. Shit in the woods. Okay? And she says it's easier to have bowel movements squatting than sitting. And she said, quote, I like pooping outside, and I'm just going to own who I am and not be ashamed of it. Are we shitting in the woods shaming now? Is this a thing? Okay. I'm kind of a bedwetting liberal. Kel Surprise. I can meet people halfway on shaming. Maybe age shaming. Not shaming. Discrimination. Okay? I can meet you on people being treated differently to the point where it breaks the law. But if I think poorly of a person who uses the bathroom outdoors, unless you're camping, or on Naked and Afraid, I don't feel guilty about thinking poorly about that. I really don't. You know, own who I am. This is who you are. This is what we're hanging our hat on. I shit in the woods and I won't be shamed for it. I mean, there's so many bigger causes to take on. But, she's not as good as in a mood as she thought she'd be, so the pizza didn't work. It worked for a little bit, and then it didn't work. It's a distraction from the feelings. Now she's still in a bad mood, but she's probably thirstier and bloated and heavier, and she's gonna have to go shit in the woods again, probably. It made her think about not getting weight loss surgery until her issues are resolved. She won't be able to binge like that if she has weight loss surgery. She'll blow a staple or throw up. So she talks briefly about a bodybuilder friend she had in university and college. And, she talks about how that person ate very healthy, exceptionally healthy, because they were trying to be in perfectly fit form, I guess, and tanning and how to look good and everything, and Chantal thought her food was just, like, so boring, but it was for fuel and for energy and performance. It wasn't for enjoyment's sake. And then Chantal said, our minds like to eat unhealthy foods. How do we fight that? So our minds. So not only does Chantal sometimes slip into the second person, I do too, it's preachy, I try to not do it, but it's hard. Slip into, you know, first person plural. Our minds. So it's not just her. Our minds like to eat unhealthy foods. Well, let's not group us all together too closely. How do we fight that? We. And then it turns into, when you eat healthy, you get this and you get that, and it's like lecture-y. It all puts distance between the truth and me. It puts safe distance. It's like, this is what's good for people. Like, as though health exists in some hypothetical way. She talks about it like it's happening to some hypothetical person who isn't her. Like, a healthy diet will do this for a person. A healthy diet will do that per person. This will do that. But, like, it's not happening to her. Like, she's watching it happen to somebody else. So, she still wants to eat for comfort reasons. You know, it's not eat when I'm hungry, stop when I'm full. Her hunger cues are screwed up. And after years of having an eating disorder, my hunger cues are still screwed up. So, I mean, some stuff, maybe the journey of a lifetime, maybe I'll resolve it in a couple years. We'll see. But if I do nothing about it, it won't get better. Live at the Beeswa, this was just under 5 hours. This was the next one. She's having Oreos and milk. diabetic friendly, blood sugar, I don't know. Did she decide she wasn't diabetic, or did the doctor tell her she wasn't? Did she decide her A1C was in a normal range, or did the doctor say, bottoms up, pizza and Oreos? I don't know. She's making a salad. Okay. It's live, and she's eating. And I mean, I guess there's no room for her mukbang audience unless she eats live. So she makes herself a salad. Okay. Alright. Sell it, baby. If you can sell that salad, you can do mukbangs. If you can sell 40 to 50,000 views mukbanging on a salad, go do mukbangs. Go do it. Make it a thing. Be the one who flips it. No more of those damn taki ramen noodle, full face, look like they're throwing up nikocado, avocado, beat your boyfriend bullshit mukbangs. None of them. Do something totally different. And give yourself a name for it. That's my suggestion. That way, she's nurturing herself, she's eating healthy food, and she's making that coin. But that's going to take a push. There's not a big market for healthy mukbangs. Let's see. Live at the Beeswa, we see Timbit in bed with Pete, so Timbit's alive. I like Timbit. Timbit's cute. I like old cats. And she's filming all over the house, and Amber Lynn pops into the live. Next, she did a cannabis haul. Okay. Hello, Dolly, are we looking nice today? She's in a leopard print with red lipstick. And I'm thinking, are we going to be eating some fuck you foods? Because usually when she's very heavily made up like that, she's in the mood to do, say, or eat something out of spite. And, I don't know. She sits around showing off what she got from the haul and getting high. The vape and everything else. Her prerogative, it's legal in Canada. I wouldn't describe her as a pothead exactly. There's people, like, I would just say I have a substance dependence issue with alcohol. I haven't had a drink in years, but, I mean, one drink could relight the fire. There's people who drink that aren't alcoholics as much as I think there's people who smoke that aren't potheads. I would suggest that she's probably not. However, a person who has an issue controlling their hunger is not assisted by taking any sort of substance that can increase your hunger, i.e. the munchies. And even if it doesn't increase it, makes food taste better and gives you no sense of fullness. I worked with my doctor on antipsychotic medication that I take. I have bipolar. And some of those blow you up. And not necessarily because they screw with metabolism, but they make you so damn hungry. You know, I'm only a man. I can't fight 600 milligrams of Seroquel. So, anyway. She shows off her thin ankles. Maybe she's losing some water weight. She said her stomach constantly feels full from the Ozempic, from the shot she's getting. Maybe it's a side effect. Pete joins her in the kitchen. Yop yop. Now we're having the live lunch. Okay, I only caught the first 50 minutes of the live lunch. She's in the car, looking lovely. She's awake during the daytime, you know, strike up the band. And she said she had to go to this place for lunch. Had to, because it was called BB's. Alright, whatever. She had to burp. She said she's getting the worst gas from the Ozempic. I gotta call bullshit, because she's been gassy for years. I don't care for it, but it's obviously not going anywhere. And it's not the medicine. Let's not point fingers, obviously. I mean, 2 days ago, you weren't going to be shamed for shitting in the woods, and now you're going to blame burping on a medicine? Be who you are! I burp and I'm proud. Don't gas shame me. The food she got looked good. Unsweetened iced tea, a chicken wrap, and a salad. Not great, but better. You know, little changes. Replace the bad with the better. Because when she goes full-on macrobiotic after a day of binging at a buffet or something, it never sticks. And of course it won't stick. She's too sick. It's too big of a leap. You couldn't make a leap like that unless she was in lockdown, with no access to a fridge of her own. And she just had to deal with it. And if she had feelings that she couldn't deal with because she wanted to binge, oh fucking well. Talk to one of the therapists on call and see how you can deal with feelings without eating with them. When I was in recovery, when I was getting into recovery, I had support people all the time. I gotta call this one. If I still wanted to drink after I hung up, I called somebody else. By the time I was sick of talking about it, I didn't want to drink anymore, went to bed. The craving passed. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes, sometimes it takes 2 hours, but the consequences of drinking, for me, were worth it to try to fight and hold on to it. And it gets easy, and it got easier and easier for me as the years went on. So she wants to go downtown and have a bubble tea and then go for a walk. Okay, but she's insecure without her walker. Someone in the chat says, go get your walker. She says, oh, there's too much ice and stuff on the ground. Karate Joe says, go for a mall walk. She says, oh, I don't know. So, you know, some people have a solution for every problem, and then some people have a problem for every solution. And that was it. She's supposed to be live again later today, I guess. So, what's the 35 minutes, really? Okay. So what have we brought here? Well, there is no lesson for this week that I would say. There's no... My own takeaway is she's saying straight up addict things. She can... things that are... I only have my own anecdotes, because I'm not I don't have initials after my name in the field of addiction, other than that I've lived through it. She's saying all the stuff that mirrors things that I've not only said, but heard from people who deal with addictions of all kinds. Whether it's alcohol, drugs, gambling, shopping, food. Putting aside people's feelings, putting aside my health, putting aside finances, all sorts of stuff for the sake of the addiction. For the sake of I don't want to feel this for 10 minutes. Before I could even tell what a feeling was, before I could even identify it, I would chase it out with a bottle shot. Because I don't want to cope. I don't want to think about it. And I was dulled, like, I was always very mature for my age till I was about 22, 23, and now I'm rather immature for my age, coming up on 39. It stunted a little bit of growth in me to do. Addictions, I feel, stunt growth. And she's a little bit juvenile, and she's been overweight for a long time and obese for a long time. Maybe it's happened to her a little bit, but it's reversible. Addictions are highly treatable. Obesity is highly treatable. Mental health is highly treatable. You know, she's not a victim of circumstance here. Help is hard to get, but it's not impossible. I like the word recovery, that kind of thing, because it's more of a direction. You know, it's not I was sick and now I'm well and I've recovered. It's, I'm going to take my challenges and work in the direction of dealing with them. Doesn't mean I won't have setbacks, doesn't mean things won't happen, doesn't mean I, will have bad days, but it means every time I'm continuing that orientation towards making a better life for myself and taking responsibility for my actions and celebrating my minor successes and accepting responsibility for my fuck-ups. Personal responsibility is a wonderful thing, because then I get to take credit for what I do well and be an adult about the things that I screw up. That again helps with that delayed maturity that I have issues with, and maybe she struggles with too. So we'll see. She's promising real videos. There's a Time Warp video. It's been coming for about 5 weeks. I hope she makes it. I don't like reviewing lives. I like doing lives myself. We did one last week, like I said, and I liked it, but I don't particularly ever care for reviewing them. I don't care for hers in particular, but that's what she's making, and I talk about foodie beauty. So thank you all for being here with me to have this special moment. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell on your way out so you get the alerts when we have a new video and also when we go live. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Twitter. Our handle's at SmokeySteveA. Our email and contact information is also listed all below as well. Thank you again, and we will be going live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern for our regular Sunday chit-chat. Usually pretty chill. We have good mods. It's the usual topics that come in and out, but there's no official topic. It's the cool side of the pillow. It's usually pretty chill. So if you have a moment, do stop by and say howdy, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye!